Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Well, the Infosys U.S. Education Center is revitalizing more than 70 acres on the grounds of the old Indianapolis International Airport terminal. The $245 million center envisioned as a state-of-the-art training campus and residential center. This week, the project reached a milestone with a beam signing ceremony for phase one of the investment that ultimately could mean 3,000 jobs. Joining me now with new details on hiring, university partnerships, and a focus on solving the STEM skills gap, Infosys Vice President and Head of the Midwest Region, Rick Cardwell. And as always, Rick, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me, Gary.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about, first of all, a milestone this week, the beam signing, kind of a topping out for what is phase one of the project. Talk about the significance of reaching this point and ultimately what this training, this education center is going to be all about.
Sure, absolutely. As you know, about a year ago, even down to today, we broke ground on the U.S. Education Center. And I'm proud to basically report that, construction's moving along fine. We plan to open the U.S. Education Center by October of 2020. Phase one of that will be a 250-seat training facility. It will also house about 650 employees as we march towards our goal of hiring 3,000 locally. It will be a state-of-the-art campus. It will be more collegial in look and feel. And it's part of our commitment not only just to Indianapolis, but also the workforce transformation and pipelining of talent, especially in STEM-related skills.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because essentially folks who go to work for Infosys in the United States are essentially going to come through this training center, right?
That's
so
correct.
It's a positive for Infosys, but for Indianapolis to have exposure to so many people coming through that, it's going to be substantial.
Correct. And so it really becomes a gateway, I think, into the city. So today, as we educate and train our employees, we do that nationally. It's decentralized. Going forward, after the Education Center opens up, everyone that we train will be housed locally in Indianapolis. They'll get exposure to the city. And it's not just an overnight training or a one-week training. We actually train our employees 8 to 12 weeks in a deeply immersive, instructor-led classroom-style training.
You mentioned ultimately 3,000 employees. You are well on the way. So far, you've hired over 500
That's correct.
employees here in Indianapolis.
Right. So what's interesting about this is it's not just about employing Hoosiers, which about 40% of that figure actually comes from native Hoosiers, if you will, born and raised here. We've also recruited the balance of that from over 35 other home states, represent over 100 universities. And the way that we recruit and pipeline talent will be on a national basis and actually try to develop that here locally as well.
Well, you talk about universities. I know partnerships with universities is part of what you have going on too, and a big partnership with Purdue University, and that is well underway in terms of training cybersecurity specialists.
Absolutely. So when you think about the buzzwords in technology of cloud, analytics, mobile, social, and security, we're really doubling down our efforts in terms of education for cyber defense. That becomes an incredibly hot button topic for a lot of our clients, not just here locally, but also globally as well. So our partnership with Purdue is we've trained over 100 of our associates through their cybersecurity program and deployed them nationally to work on our clients' cyber defense.
As you look at the timeline going out, you mentioned phase one. It will open up about a year from now, I guess, in October 2020. But as building out the additional phases, the 3,000 employees, how will that play out?
Sure. So as the business grows and develop, and as we continue to revolutionize our own workforce, we're not a company that churns and burns where we hire, use up the talent, and then we lay off. We actually reskill, new skill, and redeploy our own employees through various technologies. So because of the dynamic nature of technology, it's always changing. The skills needed are always changing. This really becomes the backbone of our ability to be able to reskill and retool. And so as we move forward with the plans, we expect our clients to really want to partner in such a way to be able to use the campus not just for our own training, but for their employees' training as well. And that being said, as the business grows, we'll continue developing the campus.
Very quickly, I only have 15 seconds, but I know one of the reasons you located here is that talent pipeline that exists in Indiana with the state universities, the private schools here. You feel that's a really unique pipeline.
Right, it is. So if you look at our schools around us, IUPUI, Indianapolis University, Butler, Ball State, Valparaiso University, Purdue University, the list goes on. It was very deliberate and intentional, not just because of the business climate here, but also the way that we can actually, pipeline our own talent here and deploy them.
All right, Infosys well underway in establishing its U.S. Education Center in Indianapolis. Rick Cardwell heads up the company's Midwest operations. Rick, as always, thanks for joining us.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk to you soon.
Thank you.